Hello students, this is the continuation of the first chapter, Medieval India. In the previous video, we have learned various topics about the divisions of history like ancient, medieval and modern. Even we have learned about the medieval, meaning of medieval in history, the division of medieval India as early medieval India or early medieval period and late medieval period. Even we have covered the different names of India, importance of medieval history. Now in this video we will learn about the sources of medieval India. So let's learn. Sources of medieval history can be divided into four categories. Like first is archaeological source, second is literary source, third is chronicles, and fourth is biographies or autobiographies. From all these sources we get lot of knowledge about the medieval India. So first let's discuss about the archaeological sources. Now what are archaeological sources? As we have already studied in class 6 book about the archaeological sources and its meaning. So what do you mean by archaeological sources? Like these sources are non-written sources. So like for example, temples, mosques, palaces, forts, artifacts, all these things comes in the archaeological sources. Paintings, sculptures, inscriptions and coins, tools, utensils, all these things. So that comes in the archaeological sources, which gives important information about the period to which they belong. Now as compared to the history of ancient India, a large number of reliable sources are available uh, of medieval period. Now we come to know lot of things. Okay, these things are present and we can easily find out, or we can know about the past, about the culture, about the artifacts, about the uh, ruling period, about different things about the past. We can easily come to know from these archaeological sources. Now they provide what? They provide a good deal of insight and knowledge about the condition of those times, like art and architecture, history and literature, agriculture and industry, trade, culture and civilization, philosophy and religion, etc. In fact, available sources cover almost all areas of socio-economic life of the people of that period. Okay. Now we first we will read about the types of the archaeological sources. Now the archaeological sources are further divided into monuments, inscription and coins. So let us know what are monuments. Monuments are old buildings. Okay, these monuments like temples, palaces, forts, clock towers, etc. They showcase the style of architecture that highlights the religious or foreign rules. These monuments of medieval India are far more numerous than those of the ancient India. They are crucial aid to the proper understanding of the artistic, cultural and even economic history of medieval India. Like for example, Taj Mahal and Fatehpur Sikri in Agra, Red Fort in Delhi and Brihadeshwara temple in Tanjavur are some examples of monuments. Like these monuments, they highlight the style of architecture of that time, use of bricks, basic building materials like bricks and all. Okay, burnt bricks, stones showcase the advancement and research to ensure strength and quality. Carvings and sculpture showcase creative skill of artisans as well as customs, food habits, dresses and jewelry and various hairstyles of that period. And even monuments depict the vision and interest of the ruler towards enriching the culture and talent, and demonstrate the strengths of a particular phase in history. Even for example, you can say Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal was built by Shahjahan, and through this monument we can come to know what was the motive to build the Taj Mahal. That is, Taj Mahal was built by Shahjahan and he built it in the memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. So these things we come to know from various monuments of medieval time. their motive, their style of architecture, all these things. So next is inscription and coin. Third is coins. Now what are inscriptions? Inscription consist of royal declaration and gifts to temples and villages. Now epigraphy is the science of studying inscriptions or epigraphs. The person who studies the epigraphs is known as epigraphist. So we find a number of inscriptions for this period. They are found on the walls of Red Fort, Taj Mahal, Fatehpur Sikri, and the walls of Rajputs. The inscription on the walls of monuments or pillars give an insight into the rule of a particular dynasty. Inscriptions supporting wars or victories showcase military interest and achievements. Social or spiritual messages on pillars show the social or religious interest of the rulers and also give a detailed picture of the life of the people, about their trade, administration, military exploits. All these things we come to know about the from the inscriptions. Now next is coins. Coins help us to identify the names and ruling periods of kings. Coins also help us in knowing the extent of the empires, and the presence of coins in foreign lands indicates trade with them. Now, numismatics is the study of systematic collection and study of coins. Now, the person who studies coins is called as numismatist. Okay. Now, during the period of Sultanate and the Mughal India, various kings they issued coins, and the standard of metals used, and also from there we can see the engraved some about the king, that is engraved on them. It's quite possible to understand the economic condition of the time, of that time. Besides, these contain evidences or proofs relating to the year of issuing the coin, even the extent of the empire, even the relation with the other neighboring powers also we come to know from these coins. So here the types of archaeological sources. Now let's see next. So here are some pictures of monuments, inscriptions and coins, so which helps in shaping history, which helps in providing information about the past, about the medieval period, like Taj Mahal, like Brihadeshwara temple, like pillars. On the pillars people used to write inscriptions on them, and coins, different types of metals were used, and they used to engrave the ruler's name or the year of issuing the coins. All these things, by exploring, by knowing, by all this, we come to know a lot of things about the past. So let us know about the chronicles. Chronicles are written records of events arranged in the order in which they happened. So these are what? These are historical accounts of facts and events arranged in chronological order. Now those who write chronicles are called as chronicler. Now chronicler, they obtain information from various places. It varies from one chronicler to another. Like some chronicles are written from first-hand knowledge, some are from witnesses or participants in events, still others are accounts passed from mouth to mouth and then later it is written down. Some use written material, charters, letters, or the works of earlier chroniclers. Now, these chroniclers, they are the ones whose work gave a detailed account of life and times of the kings. Now, most chronicles are written in Turkish and Persian language. Important chronicles of medieval period are Raj Tarangini by Kalhana. It is the history of kings of Kashmir. Tariq-e-Firoz Shahi by Zia-ud-Din Barani is a record of the history of the sultans of Delhi till the ruling period of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Tariq-e-Farishta by Farishta is a record of history of the Delhi sultans from the time of the Turks till the 17th century. Khaziayanul Futuh and Tughlaqnama, written by Amir Khusrau, tells about the ruling period of Khiljis and Tughlaq.